Welcome to GESARA for Dummies. It is April 27, 2025. Let's look at today's news from Professor William Liebenberg, prepared by Martin Stein. Please like, share and subscribe. Join our Telegram group in the comments below. Thank you. Let's go. Iraq and dinar RV. A high-level Iraqi delegation holds talks with the World Bank and IMF in Washington. You need to ask yourself, why is a high-level Iraqi delegation talking to two critical institutions? The GESARA law. Reminder: home payments won't simply return to historic levels, they will correct to extremes. There is an earthquake coming to prices. Brics GESARA Nations Alliance. Brics shakeup: Russia's trade with Ethiopia soars. With a sharp 40% rise in trade between Russia and Ethiopia this year, new opportunities are opening up across key sectors. Brazil's Brics presidency, driving multipolar growth and innovation. Fabiano Mielnik-Zook, professor at the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul, outlined four key priorities Brazil is expected to pursue during its Brics presidency. He shared his insights with Sputnik during the International Scientific Conference New World Order, Formation of a Multipolar World, and the Role of Russia. Point 3. Trade in local currencies. Brazil supports advancing Russia's 2024 initiative, aligning with growing interest in fiat, de-dollarized trade. Brics is forcing all strategies against the cabal, a multipolar world, sovereignty of countries and their currencies, the protection of hard cash, and the list goes on. All against the globalist planned New World Order. Brics is working with the Trump-Q Military Intelligence Alliance to obliterate the cabal and their fiat currency system. Yes, Brics are leading the way. Latest, #DEX has launched XRPEH11, the world's first XRP spot ETF in Brazil. The ETF tracks the Nasdaq XRP Reference Price Index, with 95% of its assets allocated to XRP. XRPEH11 is now live. The XRP narrative just got real-world validation. Brazil becoming the first to greenlight a spot ETF for XRP. As a reminder, adoption often comes where resilience outweighs bureaucracy. #DEX played the long game here. 95% allocation means they're making a statement. Global markets are watching. While they debate, Brazil accelerates. XRPEH11 is locked and loaded. Big moment for XRP, and a sign that altcoin interest is moving beyond just speculation. Launching the first spot ETF in Brazil shows there's real demand for institutional exposure to XRP, and it's starting to take shape in products. The real question now: will this stay a local story, or trigger a domino effect across other markets? In my post, "Do not sell your XRP until all 17 targets have been met," I explained that with this we are now at target 7, still 10 to go for XRP. Banks in the economy. World Bank president urges developing nations to sign trade deals with Trump. Developing countries should strike swift trade deals with the United States at the earliest possible opportunity, the president of the World Bank told Agence France Presse Friday, after a busy week with global financial leaders in Washington. As MCT warned, the banking system will be cleaned out and made safe. South Africa's Absa Bank is hit with sanctions. South Africa's third-largest bank, Absa, faces administrative sanctions from the Reserve Bank's Prudential Authority for breaching the Financial Intelligence Center Act. Announced on 25 April, the penalties follow a 2022 inspection, revealing Absa's failure to properly conduct customer due diligence on politically exposed and influential clients. The bank also missed deadlines for handling suspicious transaction alerts. As a result, Absa received 2 cautions, a reprimand, and a 10 million rand fine. Despite the setbacks, Absa cooperated fully and is taking steps to fix the issues. Just the tip of an iceberg, more to come. Payment systems. Here is some food for thought. The ones paying attention already know. The rest will find out too late. XRP and the Iraqi dinar revaluation are tied up, and it's already moving behind the scenes. The dinar was paired with XRP in July 2023 already. Iraq didn't spend years upgrading their banks, just to wire money the old way. Ripple has already locked down the Middle East corridors, UAE, Saudi, Jordan, they're plugged in. Iraq's new system? ISO 20022 ready. That's XRP's playground and Ripple serves on the ISO board. When Iraq flips the switch on the dinar, they're going to need to move real money, fast and clean. They're not waiting on 3-day bank wires. They're not running billions through broken SWIFT trails. The liquidity's already there. The corridors are already built. XRP's been sitting there like a loaded gun, waiting for someone to pull the trigger. That's why CME just dropped XRP futures without a peep from the SEC. CME Group Incorporated, it is an American financial services company, based in Chicago, that operates financial derivatives exchanges. They're not hyping it. They're loading it. Iraq dinar moves. Liquidity explodes. XRP absorbs it quietly at first, then violently when the charts catch up. Don't expect a press conference. Expect a moment where the market blanks, and it's already too late to catch the move. Another one. Next week, on April 30, 2025, ProShares Trust's XRP ETF is launching. Stellar XLM is also a major player lurking in the dark. Built for payments. Built for asset tokenization. Built for decentralized finance. Built for builders. Built specifically for individuals, commodities. U.S. Secretary Scott Bessent just called for Bretton Woods 2.0. They already have a blueprint. He's saying the current fiat system is failing. He's telling you a financial reset is coming. I hate to say it, but I told you so many moons ago, first Basel III, then Bretton Woods 3. These two force a gold standard. Unprecedented copper discovery transforms the global resource landscape. In a stunning geological revelation that has captivated mining experts worldwide, a massive copper deposit exceeding 20 million tons has been discovered in China's Tibetan Plateau. This unexpected find in the Qinghai-Xizang region represents one of the largest copper reserves ever documented, potentially reshaping global metal markets and energy transition efforts. The newly identified copper deposit, located in the remote highlands of the Tibetan Plateau, has immediately positioned China as a dominant force in the strategic metals arena. Currency wars. Sell America, buy gold, the flight from fiat has begun. The rush to sell America is on. The bond and the dollar are the fiat world's safe havens, and both have failed. It's more than just a dollarization, it's selling America fiat permanently. Facts matter. If you look at current patterns, gold has been decoupling from the dollar since 2022. Gold and crypto have been merging into fundamental pairs, due to the fact that institutional money is beginning to buy into the new digital asset-based trading system, in larger quantities than the retail market. It is one of those things we need to pay close attention to going forward. Institutional adoption is mass adoption. The U.S. Federal Reserve lifts restrictions on banks engaging with cryptocurrencies. The Fed has repealed guidance from 2022 to 2023 that required banks to notify regulators or obtain approval before engaging in operations involving cryptocurrencies and stablecoins. The Board of Governors also annulled supervisory letters and joint statements with other regulators that had imposed limitations on banks' participation in crypto assets. This move clears the way for a more flexible interaction between the traditional banking sector and the cryptocurrency market. David Sachs, it's great to see the Fed reversing Biden-era rules that were created as part of Operation Choke Point 2.0, opening up banking to crypto, will help drive further mainstream adoption. Banks now want to be crypto exchanges. Funny how fast the script flips. They want to get in on it. Nasdaq calls for clearer digital asset rules in letter to the SEC. In a new letter, Nasdaq urges the SEC to create a regulatory framework that properly classifies digital assets, arguing they can fit into existing markets with the right oversight. China's central bank is investing in the internationalization of the Shanghai Gold Exchange. A war is playing out in the gold market, and it's about pricing power. China launches major push to help the Shanghai Gold Exchange compete with the London Metal Exchange for pricing power. Increased gold trading and storage in China could impact global gold prices, which in turn could affect the demand for currencies used in global gold trading, such as the US dollar. The shift towards the yuan as a benchmark currency for gold could weaken the influence of the US dollar in international commodity markets. The internationalization of the Shanghai Gold Exchange is likely to have several effects on foreign currency exchange rates, impacting global gold prices and leading to a more multipolar global financial system. Summaries of recent articles discussing U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent's call for the reorientation of Bretton Woods institutions, the International Monetary Fund and World Bank. 1. Bretton Woods institutions must reorient, U.S. Treasury Secretary says. Refocus on correcting trade imbalances and mitigating exchange rate risks for fiat currencies. He criticized the institutions for sprawling and unfocused agendas, advocating for a return to their core missions. Besant also highlighted the potential of stablecoins to bolster demand for the US dollar, aligning with the Trump administration's goal to maintain the dollar's global reserve status. The article notes the historical context of the 1944 Bretton Woods Agreement, which pegged currencies to the US dollar and gold until its collapse in 1971 under President Nixon. 2. Bretton Woods institutions must reorient, U.S. Treasury Secretary says. He emphasized that the IMF should prioritize international monetary cooperation, balance trade growth, and exchange rate stability. These articles reflect sentiment on X, where users like Gold Telegraph and Secretary Scott Bessent described Bessent's remarks as a massive signal of a potential global economic reordering, possibly akin to a new Bretton Woods system. That sums up your Sunday news. Have a great week. See you tomorrow.